Well, welcome. We have some wonderful people here with me today uh, at the Noble Shire of Progressive Discussion here at Progressive Rock Central. And we have Flor de Loto, two members of Flor de Loto. And we're going to be talking about their new album, Cosmos. And we've got Alonso Herrera. Oh, good. He's got a copy of the album. He sings lead vocals, plays lead guitar, and Alejandro Harin, I hope I'm saying that right, who plays
Yeah,
bass.
yeah, pretty much right.
All right.
Mhm.
And so, welcome, guys. Do you want to say hi before we get started?
Hello, thank you for
Hi,
you.
thank you for the opportunity, and we are very happy to be here.
I appreciate that. Yeah, and definitely thank you for taking time. They're getting ready for a tour, which we'll be talking about for their new album. And just a fantastic start for these guys. And I finally found a South American band that I can listen to and enjoy. My wife is from Quito, Ecuador, and we're trying to find more and more South American bands. Katarina Nix is down in Santiago, Chile, but we want to find more and more bands from this area. So um, glad you guys are here, and hopefully we can build more and more, find more and more bands in the area. Now they released Cosmos on January 23rd under the Polish record company Oscar. And how did you find them? How did you get connected with a Polish recording? That's really cool.
It was in an Italian festival
Oh,
that we went uh, on 2019,
Yes.
2019, before the pandemic started, and we went to a Veruno fest called 2 Days Plus One. It's a very important progressive festival on Italy,
yes.
and we always have a spot to sale or merch, no? CDs or vinyls or t-shirts. And close to the stand, we met to Oscar people, Thomas, that is the manager of the record label. He really loved our music and our show, and we started a conversation to work all of our catalog, no?
Wow.
And but we just uh, released in that moment a DVD called Live at Rossfest, no? Uh, that we were released in 2019, no, under the Oscar label. So that was the first release with Oscar, the double CD and DVD from our presentation, our show in Rossfest in the United States. So it was the first release. Then we
All right.
released a CD called Lines of Nazca and now Cosmos.
I was just going to say, to me, you guys are brand new, but they have been a band for over 2 decades. So they've been putting out a lot of music. They've been very active. How did you get connected with Rosfest? Because yeah, that was definitely going to be one of my questions. How did you meet them, and how did they choose you?
It was thanks to a friend, an American friend called Rick Dashiell. He had a program, progressive rock program, radio program online, and he got contact with the band since, well, many years ago. He loved the band, so he recommended the band to George, that was the manager of the festival. George listened to the band, he liked it, so they invited us to play in 2018. It was thanks to Rick. Uh, he passed away about two years ago. It was a very sad news here, but he was our friend, and we are grateful to him.
Definitely. And I love that Alonzo is showing that merchandise. Thank you. These guys are ready, up to date. He's got, I don't know if you have a t-shirt there with you, but he has t-shirts, he's got CDs, they've got albums. They're ready to distribute this stuff, and that is awesome because some bands um, don't have everything ready when they release. Do you have a t-shirt or no, Alonzo?
Sorry?
Do you have one of those t-shirts or no?
Yeah,
Just to show, okay.
this is the
Oh, all right. There you go. He's got it on. So yeah,
yeah, and we just released 2 or 3 days ago a special promotional pack with a CD, the T-shirt, and a poster autograph with the band members for the tour that is coming in half of the year.
all right. Well, tell us. We're kind of jumping ahead, but let's go back for just a minute. Tell us how you guys all met and how you got started. And one of the questions, well, let's do with that first, and then we'll go to the next question.
Well, I met Alonso. Alonso and I met in the year 1998 because of a friend that was a drummer. So we started to jam with him, with this drummer and Alonso. Out of those jams, the songs of the first album, out of those jams, the songs of the first album were created, were born. So that's how the band started, by jamming. Then afterwards, this drummer quit the band. So Alonso and I restarted the band with new members, and in 2005, we released our first album, self-titled Flor de Loto.
Mm-hmm. And this album resumed all of these years of rehearsals and experimental styles, mix different styles. If you listen the first album, our first album, you are going to see different, very, very different sounds, because we went from different styles of music in that moment.
Well, now that you mentioned that,
it's like it's a very experimental album.
Now that you mentioned that, I just wanted to ask you, how did you get into progressive rock? And you kind of mix metal with progressive rock, which is absolutely wonderful. But number one, how did you get into progressive rock? And then number two, is there a progressive rock scene in Lima or Peru or South America for that matter?
Well, we were intended to be a prog rock band at first. It wasn't on purpose. Those jammed songs sounded very prog, so we tend to fit in the prog movement right away. But it wasn't on purpose. There isn't really a prog scene in Peru. It was a little. We have a little scene some years ago, but it's not a scene anymore. Here in Peru, we play more in metal festivals, but there are not much prog scene that you can find, for example, in the United States, in the UK, or in other parts of Europe. It is very difficult for progressive rock here in Peru, from progressive rock bands here in Peru to thrive.
What were some of the albums
And I
you
think
listened?
that
Go ahead.
no,
Sorry.
I think that the international prog scene give us a space, gave us a space because we in the beginning we play a different kind of music. It's a different style. So I think that the progressive scene is like a very big range of different kinds of progs, prog metal, prog folk, or classic or progressive rock. So we start to tour very early for us for the first record. The first gig was in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro. So we saw that we have a very interesting space, or place in the international prog scene, but it was not intentional for us. We always play the music that we love to play.
As you should, definitely. What albums did you listen to, or what bands did you listen to growing up that kind of gave you that prog edge? I mean, I understand that you love to jam, and that's great. But were there prog bands that sort of influenced you when you were young, or now?
Well, I started listening to metal at first, bands like Megadeth, Metallica, Ozzy, and so on. After after that, because of a friend of mine showed me during theater for the first time, I kind of get onto first progressive metal, and then searching for what are the influences of those bands. I started to listen the classic progressive rock bands like Yes, King Crimson, Rush, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Genesis, and so on. So those were my main influences as a kid and as a teenager.
Well, in my case, I grow up listen bands like Iron Maiden and Fates Warning and Halloween and Rainbow, Deep Purple, uh, hard rock and heavy classic bands. My favorite band until these days is Iron Maiden, but I think that they used a different way to create music with long songs and different movements under the song, songs like Seven Son of a Seven Son, or songs like The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. And in the same way, I grew up with my father, that he always listened Latin American folk, like Víctor Heredia, Atahualpa Yupanqui, or Inti Limani, or Quilapayún. And when I started to play music, I always loved bands that mix rock or metal or progressive with Celtic music or classical music. And I think that over these years, I used to find or want to find a sound that mix the rock or metal with Latin American folk, because this is a sound. This was the soundtrack of my life.
Yep.
Through my family, through my home, and with my personal likes.
And you guys do that so well. You bridge the gap between the two and bring, that South American folk sound to your progressive and your metal music. So definitely, yeah, you've accomplished that. And
Thank you.
Yeah, we definitely love it. Okay, for those that don't speak Spanish, what does Flor de Loto mean, and why did you choose that as a name for the band? It's a good choice, but
I think
Well,
Alejandro has a very good story.
Flor de Loto is Spanish for lotus flower. That flower that you can find that flower in China, for example, in the India. At the time that the band was formed, we didn't have a name. We didn't occur at a name, a good name. So Loto was the name that we found out of the blue. Uh, we had other choices, but that choice seems to go well with the music we were making at that time. So we tend to keep Flor de Loto. There's no more. There's no mystic about the how we find the name. Really, it was just an idea that we kept over the years.
Mm. It was an emergency situation, no? Because we had to choose a name because we had a show in a festival in the university years. So the current drummer's father says to us, "Why do you name Flor de Loto? Huh? Why do
Yeah, well,
you?"
name it Flor de Loto, and we said, okay, let's keep it.
a good name.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
very
maybe for the show, we are going to change the name. Okay, okay. Until now.
good.
Until now. We're thinking until now.
All right, and do you know other bands or for your tour, your upcoming tour? Let's talk about that. Are you going to bring in some other bands from Peru, or is it
No,
mostly you're just planning to do your album live? Are you going to do the whole album live too? And that was the next question.
most of our set list is going to be this new album. Not all. We are also going to play some old songs. Uh, there's no other Peruvian bands that are joining us in our tour. I mean, we're touring Chile. In Chile, we're going to play with a couple of Chilean bands. And for example, in this festival, we're going to play on August in the UK. I think we're the only Latin American band that's going to play in that festival. The rest of the bands I think are from Europe. I don't know if there are going to be any band from the United States, for example. Uh, but no other Peruvian bands are joining us in this tour.
Okay.
But in Chile, we are going to play with two bands that are very a brotherhood, musical brotherhood with these bands from a lot of years. One of these bands is Crisálida. We are very friends,
Friends.
and the other band is Trio in Valparaíso. No, we are going to play in Valparaíso at 7, no?
July.
June 7th.
Oh,
And
June 7th.
In Santiago,
Trio,
the June the 6th,
both bands,
and so June the
uh,
7th.
Okay.
both bands were touring around Europe like us in the past years. So they're very bands that we like a lot. Huh?
All right. Um, and you mentioned before we got started that Prague is not a huge influence in Peru right now. It's mostly metal. Um, has that changed any with you guys being involved in progressive rock? Have other bands said, look at how successful they are. Maybe we should put a little bit more prog in our music or something like that. Anyone following your
Uh,
lead, maybe? Hopefully.
Not really, because the few other prog bands that plays in Peru that are Peruvian, there are different style of prog, more classic progressive rock, or more a mixture of jazz and progressive rock. And we don't usually play together either. Uh, or there's a band called can't remember the name, but it's more modern progressive rock, like Policia, for example. Stringlight is the Peruvian band, but we don't usually play with those bands. We don't have that much contact. We do play with heavy metal bands more often.
Yeah. There are, for example, this year there are two metal bands that we meet each other that calls Yena and Blizzard Hunter, and both bands are going to tour on Europe this year,
Oh,
and they used to tour in Europe, around Europe, uh, the last year and this year too. So maybe on the metal scene, no, there are bands like Followers. I think that, or maybe in the folk metal scene. For example, there is a band called Saloma that plays folk metal or folk rock, and they follow our steps in the international scene. So and we are friends, no? And the lead vocals is singing with us right now,
oh, good.
and he's going to tour with us. Gustavo, his name is Gustavo. It's the same lead
Oh,
vocals
okay.
because he's going to sing songs like Crossfire, Cosmos, that
Oh, yeah.
in the album say we have guest vocals, no? A
Oh,
guest vocalist
yeah.
like
And
Michael
you have one
Mayo
on this
or
album too.
Ray Alder.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Um, Tell us a little bit about Lima. What's it like? It looks beautiful. I was looking at pictures yesterday. You're real close to the ocean, and we talked about your elevation. You're at sea level, and you got some beautiful islands around you. And um, tell us what it's like in Lima.
Well, it's the capital city. We're on the coast. It has some beautiful beaches, uh, very populated, sometimes very chaotic, but it has good restaurants, good food. That's one of the main
Very, very good.
Peru is the food.
What's some of the best food? What's some of the best food you can get there if you were touring or visiting?
It's Peru.
Maybe the seafood. Maybe the seafood because we have the sea very close. So uh, different,
Seafood.
¿cómo se dice plato?
This,
Dishes, no? Like ceviche or all the sea animals, no? Like squids and any others
oh,
that we, or fish, no?
Yeah, if you guys, if whoever's listening, if you've never had ceviche, what are you waiting for?
Yeah,
Give it a chance. My wife makes it, and it is, yeah, I'd never had it before she did that, and it was just amazing. Yeah, ceviche is just wonderful. Now, do you guys make it
we
hot?
recommend it.
Definitely. Do you make it hot or cold?
cold.
Yeah, yeah. I've heard both ways, but yeah, she makes it cold, and I think it's better. Yeah, there's more taste. Yeah.
Yes.
Um, all right. We talked about Rasfest. What are some good restaurants just in case somebody's heading there? Because it's a vacation season here in United States. A lot of people are traveling, despite what's going on in Washington, D.C. What are some good restaurants if they were heading to Lima?
For me, one of the best is a restaurant called La Mar, or
The sea.
Pescados Capitales. It's like a, yeah, seafood. And we have a very interesting mix between Chinese food and Peruvian food that we used to call chifa. There are a lot of chifas. Oh, delicious.
It's good food.
Delicious.
All right. All right. And I hope I say this right. Cayajo looks beautiful. The seaport. Cayajo.
Yes, Callao.
Yeah.
Cayayo. Am I saying? How do you pronounce it?
Callao.
Callao. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I said it right.
Uh,
That looks beautiful.
yeah. Very beautiful place and very beautiful restaurants.
All right. One last
No?
question about
You,
one last question about Peru, and let's jump into the album. But we get the big one everyone probably wants to know. Have you been to Machu Picchu and what's it like standing there in front of that? And do you think you'd ever do a concert there, or do they not let bands play there?
Well, I have never been to Machu Picchu, but I think Alonso has.
yeah, Cusco is the one of the most beautiful places that I ever see in my life. So in Cusco, you have Machu Picchu, you have uh, Pisac, Ollantaytambo, but we have also the jungle. You have Tambopata, Madre de Dios, Chachapoyas, and you have all the coast.
Yeah.
And different places in the coast with the sea and very beautiful hotels in front of the sea. So you have a different places to enjoy here in Peru.
Do they
Maybe it's like our music, no? It's a very mix with different places and different sounds.
And do they have festivals anywhere near those famous sites, or probably not, right?
Yeah, we have some festivals, rock festivals in Peru. So some are big. I don't know really if they let nowadays band plays in Machu Picchu.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of any uh, in the latest years, so I really don't know.
Okay.
And it's very difficult because the government doesn't support too much the music in general.
Oh, that's a
So
shame.
make a concert in Machu Picchu, I think that is very difficult, very hard to release.
Do they support you? Because I know in Europe, sometimes the governments will support you for extra culture. If you're spreading the culture out into the world, do they do anything like that? Um, they do? Okay.
So sometimes, but it's really difficult for rock bands to achieve any any help from the government.
So mostly classical or
More like folkloric. And
Folk music. But I think that this is not fair because I think that in when we played in different festivals around the world, we share our culture.
definitely.
We used to play the Condor Pasa, and Checho is the principal Kena player in the country. So I think that it's not fair that the government doesn't support the rock music with also the rock music in general, but the rock music mix with folk is really, really not fair for
And
us. But we have to work and go ahead.
he mentioned one of the biggest songs, at least over here, from Simon and Garfunkel years. If you guys aren't, but anyone
Yeah.
that's out there that's old enough to remember them, they helped make that famous north of the equator. It was already a fantastic song, and they helped make it even bigger. And one last thing, I just thought of something else. You've also had people like David Byrne and Peter Gabriel come into South America and make a lot of
Yeah.
well, South America and Africa make a lot of try to help bring your music to the world. And you remember all that, or hopefully, or you were around back then, and
Yeah.
it was a great celebration. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that David Byrne produced an album that a Peruvian singer called Susana Vaca.
Oh, okay.
She's very famous in Europe and the United States. So I know that David Byrne has produced some of the albums of Susana Vaca. And I think that David Byrne is one of the musicians that uh, has a lot of interest in the Peruvian culture and different styles of music. No?
Mhm. All right. Well, let's talk about Cosmos. The album opens with Exodo, which I think means Exodus. Is it the traditional Bob Marley type of Exodus, or what are you talking about? Or, the biblical, or are you talking about something completely different?
This is an instrumental intro that uh, I composed in my home with a MIDI controller. Is controller MIDI?
Controller.
Controller? Yeah, controller MIDI, and I thought that the name is from an exodus from the earth because
Oh, okay.
all of this album, the concept of the album is like is a fantastic situation, but not really fantastic indeed. That we have to find another place to live because we composed this record in the pandemic times. We started to compose in the pandemic times, so there is like a metaphor that we have to uh, exile, no, from the earth and find another place to live, no, because the earth is, ¿cómo se dice? Ya fue. The earth is
Doomed.
I was going to say, dying,
something like that.
that's even worse. Um, okay. Then the next song is Revolution, which obviously is revolution. What's the revolution about from your perspective?
Uh, it's a game of the words because we have the R, the letter R, in
Buckets.
separate from the
Oh,
separate from the evolution. So we play with different meanings of
yeah.
re-evolution and revolution, no? Because we have to change our way of life, or we have to it's like a question if we are we are in a evolution progress or we are in a involution and we have to make a revolution. Do you know what I mean? So
Yes.
it's a question that I made in my head so in those times and nowadays too, if what we have to do, you know, what we are in an evolution, because if you see the news today, it's
It's tough.
very
Yeah.
I have a very big doubt about if we are in an evolution progress. I think that is in the other way. No?
Yeah, definitely not here in the States right now, but we're trying to actually have
Okay.
maybe a mini revolution and cure that issue. I hope. But do you think that the only way to do it is to leave the planet?
No, no, no. It's like a metaphor. It's a metaphor because in the pandemic times, my son, that he has now 7 years old, but 4 or 5 years ago, he was like a baby, you know.
Yeah.
So he's very afraid about the destiny of the world and if we and the new reality, no? And
Yeah.
the sun cosmos is inspired in a fantasy, no? That like ¿cómo se dice cuento?
Tail.
Like a tale that I told to my son about travel around the space and find another place to live. No, so it's like a metaphor, like a tale, no, that
Okay.
we think or we imagine because it's the only way to go ahead in those moments. It was the only way to feel better in that moment because we were very afraid in this moment about the destiny of the humankind, no, or the planet Earth or something like that. But it was a very hard to understand for a child, no.
Definitely.
So we used a tale
To
that
help them understand.
maybe we can make a travel around the space, no?
All right. So let's talk about that song. You have a guest, Mike DeMeo. He's a former singer from Riot and Master Plan. And
Yeah.
talk a little bit how you got involved bringing him in, and what did he do for that song that kind of gave it even more power?
Well, Mike, I am a very big fan of his voice since from Riot days, no? And I really loved the album that he made with Masterplan. It's one of my favorites. So I really like his voice. And there is not a new collaboration with a guest vocalist in the band because we recorded with Fabio Leone 2 times ago. We record with Dougie White and with Arthur Brown, and this is not a new movement for us. So we shared the song and another old songs from the band to share the project with him, and he really loved our music and the song we share in on a Spanish version, and he really loved the song, and he made arrangements of the lyrics and from the melodics, like in the chorus or and we really loved the work that he made for the song. He was transformed the song or in a different in a different level, the next level. No, so we are really happy with the song with Mike.
And working with Arthur Brown, that must have been absolutely fantastic. And for those of you that don't remember Arthur Brown, he was a famous composer, I think, or at least he wrote or sang the song Fire, which, and he had a whole
Yeah.
theatrical presentation of that. What was it like working with him? He's like, you know, old school, maybe that's not the right word. He's from that, you know, first or second generation of progressive rock. So that must have been absolutely amazing when he said, "Yeah, I want to work with you guys. I like your music."
Yeah, we met Arthur in Germany in 2024. No?
Yeah.
But we made a contact with
Mhm.
him uh, 2 years before, on 2020, because the pandemic, we not be was able were able to play in a UK festival in Kent, a new day. No, the festival was cancelled, but we kept a contact with Arthur, and we talked about make a song together. And Arthur is very friend of our producer, that
Oh,
is Roy C. He's the Bruce Dickinson producer and Judas Priest and a lot of big stuff.
yeah.
So Roy said, I have a song that I think that is going to work very well with Arthur's voice. So we shared the song with Arthur, and Arthur composed the lyrics. No? He
Oh,
wrote the lyrics of the song. The song is called Robot, and we released in a 7-inch vinyl with a comic book that is the history of the video clip. That also the video was uh, edited by
wow.
my brother
Oh,
that lives in Vancouver.
yeah.
He made the video.
Wow.
No? So so this was a bridge between Arthur and Flor de Loto and Roy C. No, that he's our producer. No,
Excellent.
he
And
composed the
that
song.
connect you with the history of prog rock. So excellent. Good to
Mhm.
good to find
Yeah,
that person and make that connection. Yeah.
yeah.
Alejandro, did you want to add anything? It's not that we're ignoring you.
No. Everything that Alonso said, we got that song on a vinyl. It's not part of Cosmos. It's a single vinyl that you can order through our Bandcamp with all
Yeah.
of our merch.
All right.
And I have a photo here. I have a photo here with our producer, and with a very special friend. He's Roy,
Oh, wow.
Bruce Dickinson,
Yeah, that's awesome.
and,
Excellent.
me, because Checho was part of the last Bruce Dickinson record called the Mandrake Project, and I was part of the production of the record. So it's a very important moment for us, because thanks to Roy, we participate in we make a dream come true, because we participate and in an album that one of our idols of
Yeah,
my life. No, so
definitely.
Checho plays Kena in a song called "Eternity Has Failed," that is on the last Bruce Dickinson solo album, the Mandrake Project. No?
That is
And this
excellent.
photo was in Orlando. in 2023.
Excellent. Right before. Okay. Aharito Voy. Tell us a little bit about that. Some great percussion and the flute. I'm telling you,
One of my favorites.
the flute throughout this album is, uh, to me, that brings it back to Peru. But um, talk and what does Aharita Voy mean to those that don't speak Spanish?
It means
It means now I'm coming, now I'm coming, now I'm coming.
We'll
I'm
be
just
there in a
coming.
minute.
I'm just
I'll be there
coming.
in a minute. See. All right. Tell us about that song. What inspired you to write that one?
Well, this song is the first song of Checho Cuadros, our flute man player, the last Inca, the Ian Anderson from the Tawantinsuyo. It's the
It
first
really
song
does sound like
that
it was
he
that.
composed with us, yeah, for a Flor de Loto record. And we are very happy because we really love the song. Checho is a genius. He composed all the melody of the song, and it was a process that we call florlotizar, florotize, that we put the song under the Flor de Loto machine, so each member of the band plays the song in our way, no? So the song is now a Flor de Loto song. It's not a Checho Cuadro song. It's now a Flor de Loto song, and all the arrangements made with us. No? But it's a very, very beautiful song, and I think that it shows all the potential of the quality of Checho, like a player and like composer. It's a beautiful song,
It is.
and it represents all the fusion in our music better than the other song of the record. I think that this song shows the fusion way on the band style of music, you know?
Bringing South American together with the European. Yeah, I agree with you. Alejandro,
Yeah, it's one of my favorite songs from the album. Uh, we we hope that he keeps continuing composing more songs for future albums because he's very talented.
definitely. All right, Sobrevivire. I hope I'm saying that right. Tell us a little bit about that song. I Will Survive.
I will survive. This is the ballad of the album, and the folk ballad of the album. I composed the lyrics and the music of the song, and we recorded with a Peruvian singer called Ingrid Castro, that is a very talented uh, singer, local singer, and we uh, we shoot a video in the beach in a very beautiful place called La Chira, that is a very difficult to go, but it's a very beautiful place. And we filmed with a drone
Oh,
cam. That if you see the video in our official channel in YouTube, you are going to see the drone filming all the coast. Very beautiful and very a natural place. And that I think that it makes a good campaign with the song and with the lyric of the song. So we really loved the video, no? So it's a romantic side of the band that Alejandro loves.
Is that the island of San Lorenzo near the Playa del Muerto?
No. San Lorenzo is near the port, near Callao.
Okay,
Yeah, it's in front the Callao.
but is it okay? So it's a separate island, or it's part of
La
that?
Chira is on more south, more in the south of the city.
Oh, okay. South of San
Callao
Lorenzo.
is in the north.
Okay. I wrote those two down as uh, places I was going to talk to you about. But um, okay, so definitely everyone needs to watch that video. I think I have. It's been a while, but yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and watch it now that you've told me a little bit more about it.
The song has a very beautiful melody from Checho on Kena, and we really love the Checho work on the album, on the whole album.
Mhm. All right, Nuevo Amanecer. My wife's gonna shoot me because I probably didn't say that right. But Nuevo Amanecer, correcto o no correcto?
Nuevo Amanecer. Yeah, it's like a new beginning or
Yeah,
no, new beginning,
a new. I
a new
wrote
dawn,
down
a new
new
dawn.
dawn. Yeah, when the sun rises, kind
But
of.
but in a symbolic way, it's like a new started or a new beginning because there is another song that I composed on the pandemic times, no?
Mhm.
How we can make a new beginning of all
Yeah,
that we lived in that moment, no? So it's something like a mix between personal thoughts and social too.
Alejandro, do you want to add anything to that, or?
Well, everything that Alonso said, that's what's going on in the song. Uh, it's one of it's other of my favorite songs of the album
Mhm.
with Ahorita Boy.
Mm.
All
And I
right.
remember that the melody with the keyboards, the keyboard melody in the middle of the song, like pam 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 pam. I made it with a MIDI control, a piano, a
Mhm.
keyboard, and I remember that in the middle of the pandemic times or the quarantine, I sent it to Alejandro. I shared a video playing this, no, and I remember that I told him, please keep this melody because I want to make a song with this, no, and uh, it's going to be the middle of the song, the only instrumental part of the song. That is one of my favorite too. So it's a very more. I think that Nuevo Amanecer or New Beginning is the most progressive metal song of the
Mhm.
album. No,
Yeah.
and this instrumental interlude is one of the most progressive metal moments of the record, of the whole record for me. No?
All right. Ecos del pasado, echoes from the past.
From the past. Okay. This is one of the other instrumental songs of the record that I composed also in the quarantine times in my home with a acoustic guitar um, and with a Godin guitar. And I remember that I sent it to Checho, and Checho composed different moments, and the Checho made very, very beautiful arrangements that mix very, very well with the guitar melodies. So if you listen to the song, you are going to listen parts like parararararan, parararararan, pararan, and I think that the guitar and the quena sings like
Yeah.
a voice in the song, and this is a melancholic way uh, all over the song that it reminds me like an echoes from the past. So I think a very, very beautiful moment of the record. It's a
Yes.
very calm song that is at the end of the song is very intensive, but the song is very melancholic. Uh, it works with melancholic melodies, I think.
All right. El Reino del Ar, the Kingdom of Pain. Not a good place to go.
This is another metallic, I think, pop metal songs uh, that I think that the lyrics is the most social lyrics of the record, because I think that if you don't understand Spanish, you don't understand the meaning of the song, but it's a very a critical social, a social critic to our government, or the way that the government manage the pandemic times.
Mm,
Very, very bad. Very, very bad
a lot
in
of
this country.
yeah.
In a lot of countries, I know. But this is a critical,
Yeah.
a critic to the social meanings or the social media, the social politics of our governments. So if you read the song, you are going to find parts like who who decide who is the well and who is the bad, who
Yeah.
decides who lives and who death, no? And
Horrible.
because in those times we felt that we are on the government's hands, and
Mm,
the government decided who live and who not live. So I think that is more this is more the political way of the band, no? Alejandro, you can talk about the documental Sons of Injustice, no? And Alejandro can talk about also the political side of the band, no?
Yes, some years ago we participated in a documentary that is called "Songs of Injustice." You can find the documentary on YouTube. It was about the rising of metal bands within some political and terrorist reigns in Latin America.
mm,
Those the documentary covers bands from Mexico, Peru, Chile, and Argentina. It's a very interesting documentary that
mm.
you can find it on YouTube. It's called Songs of Injustice.
Yeah, I want to watch it. Definitely. And I know somebody else that would want to watch it as well. She's not here at the moment. All right. Um,
Great.
and then you have the final album closer, which is an awesome piece of work, Crossfire. And you've got great singer Ray Alder from Fates Warning, one of your favorite bands from the past. So it's nice to have these idols to play on your album. You got to be excited about that. What was it like to ask him? And thank goodness he said yes, because he does a great job. But talk about how all that happened.
Yeah. It was a very good story because a couple of years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, I sent him a message on Facebook, present the band, and I told him that Alejandro and me were very, very, very fans of the Face Warning and also the Face Warning albums with Ray Alder, like Parallels or A Pleasant Shade of Grey or Inside Out, Disconnected. We really love, and he was a very big influence uh, in our music
Yeah.
and all the stuff. But he never answered me the
No.
message. And the last year, from nowhere, I received a message from Ray that he says, "Oh, I never saw this message.
No.
I I'm going to listen to music and I'm going to answer you." So 2 days after, he has answered me the message and he says, "I really love the music. I really love the band,
Yeah.
and let's go.
Oh, that's
What songs you want to that what songs what song is the one of that you want to I sing?" So we shared the demo version of Crossfire, and like with my Vimeo, Ray make a very beautiful arrangements on the lyrics and on the melody of the songs. So if you read the credits of the album, Ray is co-arrangement in the
mm.
song because he works was really really beautiful, and I think that
What part did he change?
this is my favorite collaboration in the band because I feel that Ray sings the song with a lot of feeling,
Yeah.
most, mo with a lot of emotional feelings. You know? For me, better than the other singers that sings like a guest vocalist in the band in the past.
What parts did he change in the song? You said he edited it.
Uh, in the chorus, he changed the lyrics like "I am awake and I'm in a crossfire," and the arrangements, melodies of the voice in the end of ¿cómo se dice estribillo? Estrofa? Bridge. In the bridge, like he says, "Ah, na, 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 na." All of these arrangements was created by him. So he definitely elevated the song to the next level.
Wow.
And I remember that we I was in my record store here with Jose, one of my friends that he works here, and I received the first version of the song with the Ray's voice that Ray sent me,
Wow.
and I put it in the equipment, and I started to cry because one of my favorite singers of all times, and when I listened how he sung uh, with very emotional feelings, I I couldn't believe it.
It's got to be one of the highlights of your life. That you had your favorite singer not only sing but want to sing and want to be a part of what you're doing. That's absolutely exciting. Everyone wants it. Yeah. All right. Well, we've come to that question. Do you guys and by the way, please get out there for those of you who are watching this, please get out there and listen to this. It's a wonderful album, as you've heard now from we went through all the songs. It's a great album. These guys really are different, not only different, but different in a good way. It gives you something different to listen to than your regular modern prog. So please, they bring in uh, the spirit of the Andes and the spirit of the culture, and make it, part of this this idea that we call progressive rock, which I agree with you guys and everyone else that I've talked to, that progressive rock needs to progress. It's not, you don't keep playing Genesis or, Led Zeppelin or year in, year in, out. You've got to change it. And these guys are doing a great job to do that. Is there anything else you wanted to add that we haven't talked about?
We thank you very much for your words and for enjoy our music and connect the with our music proposed. And we want to share all the people that listen our music, listen our different platforms like Spotify or YouTube or iTunes, but please support the physical material, because I think that this is most different experience if you listen a CD record or a vinyl record, and you support that we be able to make more music and more tours and in the future. So we invited all the people to listen our music and connect with us. And I hope that we are touring again in United States someday.
And the thing that you get with the physical, I know you can download pictures and that, but there's something about the artwork, and we should have probably talked about that. The artwork on this album, you showed that shirt, is absolutely fantastic. Do you want to talk about that artist? And that's something that you don't. There's something about holding that in your hand, being able to look through the booklet and things like that. So don't deny yourself that experience. Get the CD so you can do that. But do you want to talk about the artist that did all your artwork? It's wonderful.
We have changed of the artists around those years, but nowadays the artwork of Cosmos was made by Marc Astorga, that is a Peruvian designer and painter. That I think that this is the third artwork that we work with him, and I think that he understands. He loves our music and he understands what is the concept of the album, and he understands what we want to communicate with our music. So I think that he travels with the album and he make a design very, very appropriate
Authentic.
to our music.
Alejandro, was there anything else you wanted to add, or anything we missed or didn't cover that you'd like to talk about?
Well, about the art, we always wanted to the art of any of our CDs to represent what the music can make feel the listener. So we tend to always work the same way. We with the artist that makes our covers, whether it's Mark nowadays or other artists that we have worked in the past. We told the artist, okay, listen to the music, and you draw whatever the music
We're kind of losing him, I think.
We are losing Alejandro.
Yeah.
Wow.
The internet is
But
not too forgiving, unfortunately. It decides when it's
no, but Alejandro said we always send the music, the final mix to the artist, and the artist paint the first thing that comes to his mind. No?
Mhm.
So we used to work like this with different artists around our career.
Yeah.
No?
Well, I know I shouldn't, but I'll do it anyway. If you ever get a chance to look at what Nitsky does, he is out of this world. And if you haven't heard of Ed Unitsky, I'll send you links and everything. But he's amazing what he does for progressive rock albums.
And also Mark Astorga that made the cover album. He made the lyric videos of, of this album.
Oh, Mark
He
does.
made the lyric video of Cosmos, and he made the lyric video of Crossfire.
Okay. And then the results
I think
tend
that
to
we
be amazing.
have a problem.
All right. Well,
Houston.
Houston, we have a problem. No.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you guys want to add before? Oh, yeah. Sometimes if you log out and then
Alejandro is back.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm back. Something happened with my internet connection. Sorry.
No, that's all right. It happens. Did you want to say anything else about the
Okay.
work or? Excuse me.
No, just invite people to follow us, watch our videos on YouTube, buy the physical albums. If you want to listen to us online, you can find us on Spotify, Apple Music, etc. And you
And
can
you
buy.
can buy the physical albums on Bandcamp, on our Bandcamp, official Bandcamp. You can, you are be able to buy a T-shirt or a vinyl or a CD, and in all over the world.
How much is that package? You said there's a CD autographed, uh, something autographed, and then the T-shirt. How much is that package?
In American dollars, I think that is 25,
Okay.
something like 25.
And then European
Yeah,
euro.
25 euros,
Okay.
25 euros.
That's not bad for a T-shirt and a CD. And what was the third? You said something was autographed, or the CD is autographed.
The poster. I don't know if you call it poster.
The poster is autographed by the members of the band.
Okay. Poster. Poster. Is that what you're saying? Because it's
Yeah,
kind of cutting.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a poster, there's a T-shirt, and either album or CD,
and the
whichever
CD,
you decide to purchase.
the European CD
Oh,
released by Oscar, the
okay.
record label.
Hey, that is a heck of a deal. $25. Where can you get all that? All right. Well,
Yeah,
hey,
and we are going to release a vinyl
go
in
ahead.
1 month or 1 or 2 months. We are going to release a vinyl of the Cosmos.
Oh, okay. And any more music videos? That was one other thing I forgot to ask you. Do you have more music videos for this supporting this album in the near future? Or?
Maybe on the tour, we are going to film a lot of parts of the tour in Europe, in UK, in Chile, so and in Peru. So maybe around this year we are going to release one more video, music video.
And one other thing I forgot to ask you about, are you already working on the follow-up album, or you're really concentrating on promoting this album?
No, we are concentrating right now in our tour and promote this record, but we are in constant motion, like the Dream Theater says. So we are working in some ideas, but very slow, very slow.
No, you got a great album here. You want to take care of this one. Yeah, makes good sense.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else anyone wants to add? Otherwise, we'll stop the recording and
Ah, well, thank you very much. We really love to be here with you, and whatever you want, you can contact, and we are very happy.
definitely. I'm hoping they're gonna connect with some people that I mentioned to them, and we'll see what happens. I definitely want their music to grow and be heard by more and more people. And yeah, they're a good band, and just give them a chance. Give their music a chance, and I think the music speaks for itself. It's fantastic. So thank you both.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alonso, and
Thanks to you. Nice to meet you.
well, thank you. And we lost Alejandro, but tell him thank you very much. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, but really, this was a fantastic interview. Good talking with you guys finally after listening to your album for so
Thank
long.
you very much. Thank you
But
very much. We enjoy it a lot.
thank you. All right, I'm going to pause this and you and I can talk here in a minute. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Oh, well, hold on.